All aboard! Who's going aboard? Well, well, well. Look who's here once again. An adventurer? A smuggler? Maybe someone on the run? It doesn't matter, my friends. Because here, we're all just gamers. Welcome to the Gaming Galleon. I'm Captain Raz. And who wants to get into a fight today? Well, let me tell you, we're going to get into some. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to just sit around and play video games today. I don't know if you know this, but in order to keep this baby afloat, sometimes I have to, how should I say, mortgage off parts of the old ship. And a couple years back, we got into some problems with debt. We had bought like a whole bunch of Tiger electronic toys thinking we'd be able to sell them for a mint, and that didn't pan out very well. So as a result, I ended up having to borrow some money from an organization called the Allied Nations. It's this, multinational military installation organization kind of thing. They usually don't call, but when they do, unfortunately, you and I kind of got to suit up and help them out. And that's what's happening today. We're not going on a pleasure cruise. We're kind of enlisting. Is that enlisting? We're answering the call of duty. And we're heading out to Shadaloo City, located somewhere in Thailand. Where basically a civil war is brewing between the Allied Nations, who have been called in, and this dictator named M. Bison. Oh, M. Bison? Does that sound familiar? Yes, yes. The curtain is dropping. Of course I'm talking about Street Fighter 2 and the lore within. And that's what we're going to be playing today. We're going to be opening the chest, and let me tell you, all I have to say is, boom! It's going to be beautiful. And we're going to be playing a Street Fighter game. Why, you may ask? Why this week of all weeks? I mean, it could be any week, really. In fact, when we first got the boat in the water and, christened it with a bottle of rum, I was like, eventually, we're going to play some Street Fighter because I absolutely love it. I've loved it for 25 years, and if you didn't know, Street Fighter 2 turned 25 just about 2 weeks ago. So, and I've been playing it ever since it came out. So, suffice it to say, I always knew I wanted to sail us out to somewhere and scrap with some World Warriors. Why is this week? Well, because Street Fighter 5 is finally out there in the world. Can you believe it? There's actually been 5 installments of Street Fighter and all the other variants throughout the years. We've been playing 5 over at the old YNL headquarters, and I gotta tell you, I'm kind of in hangover mode. Not from wanting to play, but just like trying to get everything done. We're just staying up too late, we're playing too much, and everything else is falling to the wayside. And I have to admit, this voyage kind of took a bit of a hit too, because this was not the plan. This was not the show I had planned 48 hours ago. But Monday rolled around, and that's when I realized that Patty the Swallow was getting Street Fighter 5. Tuesday hit, and we spent the whole day playing it. Wednesday hit, and we found ourselves doing it again. And that's when I started realizing, you know what, if we're ever going to do a Street Fighter show, this is the week to do it. Because how many opportunities do you get to celebrate a series like this on a ship like this. And I don't want to be all gloom and doom on you, but you know, Street Fighter games don't come out that often. And we have no idea when 6 would be out. I mean, it could be years. And just being cautious, not pessimistic, but I just feel like now's the time to do it, because who knows where this ship's going to be and where you and I are going to be when that next one comes out. So I had to scrap everything, start from scratch, and decide the hardest question. The easy question is to play Street Fighter. The hard question is which one to play. I mean, I've played a lot of them. I've played Street Fighter 2. I've played Street Fighter 1. And I've actually beaten Street Fighter 1. It's a terrible game. I won't go into the details. But there's a reason you hear about Street Fighter 2 and not Street Fighter 1. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, I've got on the Dreamcast. Played that quite a bit. Even played some in the arcade. I believe the first Street Fighter 3 was in an old, like game room at this fast food joint that I used to work at years and years and years ago before I got my sea legs. So I played that. All the variants, Street Fighter versus X-Men, Street Fighter X Tekken, Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2, not a lot of 3. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Even the Street Fighter EX series, which I don't know if you know what this is, but believe it or not, when we moved from the Super Nintendo and Genesis era to the PlayStation era, everything was going 3D. Everything was going from pixelated graphics like Mario to polygonal graphics like Lara Croft. Every series you could think of, including Street Fighter. So there is some polygonal Street Fighter games out there. And to their credit, they play relatively solid. But if you ever wondered about really obscure Street Fighter characters that you've never seen in any of the later installments, check those out, because they actually had some original characters of their own. So yeah, I mean, I've been around. Suffice it to say that I've been around. And as for 4, I certainly did my Call of Duty on 4 online. I mean, I think I played that game for about 2 years, and that was the first time that we finally found a marketplace where fighting sticks, joysticks, for example, started to get affordable. So that's when I myself finally had a stick at home. So you know, with that kind of opportunity, I played the heck out of Street Fighter 4 and have been playing it literally with my boys over at YNL all the way up until 5's release. So we're a Street Fighter family around these parts, and this ship bleeds white and red. It really does. So back to what we're gonna play. What do you pick? Well, I happen to be talking to our old comrade at arms, Captain Tyson of the USS Cincinnati, about my struggle. Not that it was a big struggle. I figured I was just going to do Street Fighter 2 Turbo for the SNES, play a little Honda, my guy, play him through the campaign, beat Bison, you know, easy peasy, right? And that's when he said, well, you know, what about, didn't they make a Street Fighter game based on the movie? And that's when, you know, my eyes went bright, because he had nailed it. Yes, if you don't know, there was an old movie. I mean, Street Fighter was big enough that they made a movie about it. And it was Street Fighter, the movie. And it starred Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile, who, if you haven't played Street Fighter, is all American. He is this, you know, army captain who just kicks butt. And he's up against Bison, who is this evil dictator. Who plays Bison in the movie, you may ask? Legendary Hollywood actor Raul Julia, who sadly passed away of stomach cancer years and years ago. And this was his final movie. And for some reason, they decided to take the movie that was inspired by a video game and make a licensed video game from that movie adaptation. So you have your video game, and then you have the movie that was inspired by the video game, and then you have a second video game that was inspired by this movie. The movie is considered really bad. So I always thought maybe the game was really bad. But as soon as he said it, as soon as Tyson said Street Fighter the movie, I knew we had it in the hold. And thought, now's the time as good as ever. So, if you don't know about Street Fighter, you're about to learn about it. If you don't know about the movie, you're about to learn about that. And let's just get started. Okay, so we're in Shadaloo, Thailand. We got to track down Bison. I don't know if we're going to hit him. Honestly, all we're going to do is we're going to play as Guile, a.k.a. Van Damme, because he's the hero of Street Fighter the movie. And we're just going to play against a random selection of characters. And if we get Bison, all the better. Okay, so let's play a couple matches. It's Street Fighter the... Oh, yeah. I don't know. This thing might be a loading nightmare. I'll do what I can in the way of magic of television to fix that. But this is a very old PlayStation 1 game, okay? And they were not... PlayStation 1 was notorious for not playing fighting games very well because they loaded badly. It just took them a long time. So hopefully we're not going to run into too many problems. I better shut up so we can just get started. Street Fighter the movie for the PlayStation 1. Alright, there we go. There was Guile. As you can see, we got some random characters here. Random slots. Let's show you some mug shots here. We got Chun-Li, Honda, who I would usually play, but we're going to play Guile today. Let's see Zangief. Ryu and Ken are here. You got Zangief, and then, of course, there's the late, great Raul Julia. Okay, so, head on back to Guile. Loaderific. Loaderino. Oh, Guile versus Blanca, huh? Blanca looks lovely. He looked like... Okay, here we go.
Round one.
Oh, what was that? Why was the... Oh, yeah. Oh, man, look at it. The lettering's all screwed up. Seeing that? This is not the best disc. Okay? Let me tell you something. I found this disc in the hold next to, like, some sea urchins. And I think it was like an old frozen dinner that never got eaten. So, suffice it to say, this thing has seen better days. It was really scratched when I look at it. I mean, I pull it out of the hold, and we were getting close to voyage time, and I'm like, ugh, is this thing even be okay? But so far, it seems to be running okay. So I think, you know, what are you going to do? And the funny thing is this plays okay. Again, I'm Guile. I'm Jean-Claude Van Damme here. And, you know, I know my way around Guile from Street Fighter. But being what these graphics are, I kind of always thought that this might play more like Mortal Kombat. I mean, it's made by Capcom. It looked like it was published by Acclaim. That was kind of weird, but it's biting on it. It's made by Capcom, developed by Capcom, released by Acclaim. And I don't know, I didn't expect it to play. Wow, it's even got EXs? How am I doing that? There's no meter. I'm talking about how I threw two those little boomerangs there. You're not. Come on, sweetheart. There we go. Oh my god, that was just to load up this. E-Han is next. Wow. Okay, here we go.
Round one.
What's going on in the background there? Honda, he's not, I mean, I don't know if he's my best guy ever, but I really like to play him. Usually, You know, he's a big fat guy. What can I say? I was like playing the big fat guys. Gosh, can you guys even hear me okay? You can't. I'm gonna move my table. Even though I'm killing Honda. Honda, die! Hold on, I'm gonna move my table. Sorry if you haven't been able to hear me. Honda, die already! There we go. Yeah, sorry. That big crack was me moving my table. I forgot I was supposed to do that. Sorry if you didn't hear me that first match very well. Probably heard me okay. I mean, I'm a loudmouth, right?
Round 2.
Alright.
Fight.
So yeah, kind of shocked how well this plays. I literally am having no problem pulling out specials. I have a feeling, I mean, I'm really, not that I've ever really been much of a combo guy. You know, I grew up in the Street Fighter 2 days. You know, the average combo is usually around 3 to 5 hits. Let's see if I can do the super. I need a double. I don't even know. You see that meter saying super? It's screaming at me, use your super move, and I can't seem to do it. But then again, I don't really know Guile, so. I can use double sonic moves, though. Oh, jeez, what a jerk. What do you got? Fighting all the good guys here. Blanca, Honda, I mean, give me something evil. How about Balrog or something? Alright, this is going pretty well, except for the load times. Next time, try and hit me back. Oh, Van Dam, you are a caution. I don't remember when we started. 45, I think. So 10 minutes for monologue. 15 minutes for game.
God versus
25.
God.
So we got 5 minutes. Let's play one more match, then we'll do the what's it called? Oh my God, these load times. Oh. Should I start rifling? Here, I'll tell you what. If we hit another load time, I'll look up some Street Fighter trivia. Oh. Oh, now I've committed to it. Now I have to find Street Fighter trivia. Oh, you know, it's really hard to. I can't really do the. Let's see if I can. Oh yeah. Guile versus Guile. Oh, this is totally breaking the whole illusion of. Oh yeah. Please. Oh. It's so funny. I can totally Sonic Boom all day. I can totally do those boomerangs. But I can't do his Razor Kick, aka Flash Kick. And for those of you who call it a Razor Kick, yes, some people call it Flash Kick. For those of you who call it Flash Kick, some people do in fact call it Razor Kick. Oh, come on. I'll tell you, this doesn't really take me back. You know, it's not exactly the nostalgia trip that playing Street Fighter 2 is, because, you know, that was the one that I grew up with in the arcades, where that was the place to be if you were a suburban kid in the 90s. There we go, there's a Flash Kick. Hanging out in the old pizzeria. In my case, it was Aurelio's. And either playing or, for the most part, more watching, because, you know, people are so spoiled these days. Street Fighter 5, you know, people are picking up Street Fighter 5 right now. They're picking it up for, you know, admittedly a lot of money, $60. Was that it? Alright, we're done.
You win.
Let's come back. Moving the table. Yeah, thanks. You load up. Okay, I'll catch up with you. Alright, yeah, you know, people these days, they're paying $60 to play. I know that's a lot of money, but it's the first day it came out, so you're paying for that. Wait a couple months and it'll be even less. You take it home, you pop it in, and you can play an unlimited amount of times against an unlimited amount of real people. That is so much different from when I played Street Fighter 2. It was me and the machine, and hopefully someone would show up. And hopefully I had more than a quarter to play. And hopefully they weren't awesome. Because if they're awesome, they take the dollar you have to play. Sorry, I had to pause it. Cammy was trying to attack Kyle. We'll get to that later. I don't want to fight Cammy. Where's Bison? Sorry. He really... That was what made Street Fighter interesting. It was really the first game where you could earn more time on the machine if you were good, aside from pinball. But in this case, in pinball you were up against the computer. In Street Fighter, you were up against other people. And if there was a room full of other people who wanted to play, and you were good enough, you could spend a lot of time on one quarter. And that was absolutely magical, and really what brought back the whole renaissance of video gaming in the arcades. Right before that happened, arcades were kind of almost... What's the word almost flatlining. I mean, they really were. It wasn't until Street Fighter came that it was like 1978 again. Everybody was back in there. And everybody was ready to fight. Totally magical time. Let's get started, shall we? Good stuff in here. I'm way over, probably. We got about half an hour. What's that mean? We got about 10 minutes? That's more than enough. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, this is great. This is kind of like finding... Yeah, this is kind of like if you're panning for gold and you find one piece of gold dust. You realize that if you dig deep enough, you're gonna hit pay dirt. And that's what happened here. I was in a pawn shop that really didn't have anything that great. Had a whole stack full of games, but they were asking way too much, like $6 a game. And these were like Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 games. And that's a lot of money. They also had some PlayStation 2 games and Xbox games there. They were asking for $1 each. And I happened to see one that at least looked pretty cool that I don't think we had. And it was Crash Twinsanity. Okay, 10 million Crash games in here. I just recently heard that this one is pretty cool. And it doesn't look very good. I think all it really needs is a clean. Certainly if Street Fighter the movie's running, this probably will. It needs a wipe down. That can go a long way. It was $1. So I brought it up there, laid it on the counter, I'm like, can I get that for $1? And he's like, okay, and I ask, the old standby, always ask, I asked, do you have anything sitting in the back that you want to take out? And this guy kind of knows me already, so, he was cool. He's like, yeah, I think some games dropped today. So, and what dropped means is, in a pawn shop scenario, people will bring things in, and they'll get money as collateral for... Well, the stuff is collateral to borrow some money. And if they don't come back for that stuff, they put this stuff on the floor to sell. These games that have dropped. So he goes in the back and he brings out 5 or 6 games that are wrapped in aluminum foil. Plastic wrap. That they wrap stuff in just to bundle it all together. And I see, 5 or 6 pretty forgettable games, but one that catches my eye, which is one we've seen. And it's Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Some pretty striking artwork there. Let me double check, make sure the autofocus is on. Just a sec. Take a drink or something. Yeah, we're good. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, and what that tells me is, this is a pretty sought after game. You can get some play around money with this. These days, PS3 market's really fluctuating like crazy because everyone's getting rid of it. So PS3 market is way down from where it used to be. But Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is like the latest fighting, the last version of a very popular Capcom fighting game. So things like this hold their value. So I knew if we got this for $6, we'd still be looking at like, $20 or so in profit if we sold it. Or even if we traded it in, we'd get a little credit. And for whatever reason, there was a second... Oh, wow. Huh. That's interesting. I knew there was a second disc in here. I heard it rattling around. Because here's the disc we bought. But then, this is Madden. Who cares? But it's Madden for the PlayStation 4. I mean, that still doesn't really matter. What is this? Madden 15? I'm sure it's crap, but, it's just fascinating there's a PS4 game in here I didn't know about it. So anyway, so these are the two I'm going to buy, long story short. And I'm thinking this is going to be $7. He rings me up, he's like, okay, that'll be $3.12. And I'm like, oh, how much was this? He's like, $2. And I'm like, oh yeah? So what about all the stuff on the wall? He's like, oh yeah, those are $2 too. And I'm like, really? So I went back to the wall. I went back to the wall. Okay, let's get started. Okay, there's a lot. Borderlands 2. I'm pretty sure we just picked up a copy of this. It was brand new, but this one is Black Label. This is not the re-released greatest hits version. So I picked it up and it's open. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with the sealed one. Who knows? Give it to a friend? I don't know. We'll see. Resistance 3, this is a first-person shooter with aliens. First-person shooter with aliens, never played it. I know that Patty the Swallow, whenever I mentioned Halo, there's no Halo on Sony or something like that. I don't know. He always brings this up. Like I guess Microsoft has Halo, but Sony has this? I don't know. Whatever, it's an alien first-person shooter. Oh, wow, Dungeon Siege. Pretty sweet. I haven't looked in this chest in a while, so I'm kind of surprised by some of this stuff. Dungeon Siege 3 is a really cool action RPG. 4-player. I'm not going to get into why, but don't ever buy this to play it online. Buy it to play with your friends who are in the room with you. Good game with when you're talking people in the room with you. Wow, this is interesting. This is a 4-player action RPG, but it looks like only 2 people can play in the same room. I would have expected this to be 4-player. Yeah, maybe it's not as good as I thought. Who knows? Never played it. Final Fantasy XI, this is a dead game. Doesn't exist anymore. The servers are down. I believe. They've got to be. I mean, Final Fantasy 13's out. Or 12? I don't know. I played this a lot. Played this for like 2 years. I fished like a madman. Fun game. The Saboteur for the PlayStation 3. We'll play this one day. I don't know for what, but you play an ex-IRA member, an Irishman, who is now a race car driver in London, in Paris, Nazi-occupied Paris. But he becomes a terrorist of sorts, starts taking out Nazi complexes. I'm not going to get into the story, but what's interesting is this whole game is in black and white. The whole game's in black and white, all of Paris, until you start taking over parts, start kicking Nazis out of parts of the city. And as you do that, the game starts to turn color once again. So it's got a very striking, almost comic book style approach. And it's like an open world GTA kind of game, but, 1930s, is that right? 1930s Paris? I mean, how many games are in Paris, you know? Kind of cool. This was for Bismuth. He collects these. This is Shadowrun. Shadowrun's got a sticker there, but it's first-person shooter. Xbox 360. I think it used to be... I think it's still online if you know how to do it, but he's really into this game, so... He's literally got a stack of these. I think his dream is one day to hook up like 16 Xbox 360s and play. You gotta shoot for the stars in life, you know? So I'll give this one to him. Perfect Dark Zero. This is, I believe this was a launch game for the Xbox 360. I know it wasn't very popular. This is a first-person shooter on the Nintendo 64, and then it moved to Xbox 360. But it's in nice shape, and it's got a really gorgeous case. So I was like, alright, we'll go for it. Okay. Soul Calibur 5. Is Yoda in this one? Is this the one with Yoda? Maybe not. I don't know. This game always has weird, like, they've had Spawn, they've had Darth Vader. Oh, there you go. Looks like it's Enzo. You see him there? Enzo from Assassin's Creed, he's in it. He's the guy in the white. Okay. Assassin? Right, Assassin. Of course it is. Assassin's Creed. Dark Void. There's a Capcom game that I hear is not very good, but you're a guy in a jetpack. Sounds kind of cool to me. I mean, jetpacks are great. Looks like it's got kind of a 1930s steampunky thing going for it. So, I always kind of wanted to pick that one up. Metal Gear Solid 4. Believe it or not, we don't have this. We've never had it. Never played it. Probably won't. The series kind of lost me after the sequel. I played a little bit of the third one and was like, not so much. 5 sounds okay, but I'd probably, for the most part, I'd just tool around in it just because it's open world. And it's got a horse, you know. But even so, isn't it like Afghanistan? Games in the desert. I guess I liked Red Dead Redemption, but for the most part, you know, I like a little foliage in my video gaming. Alright, Kingdom of Fire, Circle of Doom. Can you see that? Man, it's shiny today. A lot of shine going on these things. I didn't put a light up, that's probably part of the problem. There you go. What do I know about this? I think it's like a real-time strategy game crossed with an action RPG. It's like you're managing all these forces on a big map, but if you decide to move your general to that area, you can go right down into the action and start swiping away at guys in like a hack and slash kind of thing. Is it 2-player? 1 player only. It says co-op 2 to 4, but I bet that's just online. Anyway. Oh, I love this game. You remember this one? Maybe some of you do. This is Kingdoms of Olimar, The Reckoning. We had it out there once, out to the Oasis of Ingress, to explore the Kingdoms of Olimar. This is a fantastic game that just never got any love, and now it's sitting on a shelf for $2. You know. Here, look at the pedigree here. From the minds... Oh, you can't see it. From the minds of Ari Salvatore, Todd McFarlane... I had it a second ago. And Ken Roston, who I believe is one of the main developers for Elder Scrolls, Morrowind. Great game. Great game. So happy to have it for the 360. We've got it for the PS3, but I love the game. You know, I love it. Not usually one for, like, multiple platform titles, but like having both ones, just too good of a game to pass up. Saints Row the Third. Saints Row is like a Grand Theft Auto with a sense of humor. I always kind of liked Saints Row 2 the most. Never played this one. Sounds like it was kind of a step back, in my opinion. But again, I didn't play it, so I'm probably prejudging. I'm sure it's fine. Sure it's fine, especially for $2. Front Mission Evolved. What's that? It's got robots. It says Square Enix on it. Not bad. I think it's one player. You know, it's just robots being badasses. How do you say no to that? I just can't. This guy's got a big rocket launcher. Ah, love that stuff, you know? Artwork alone, I'll pay $2. Alright. Infamous. Welcome back to Empire City. We also have gone to Empire City. We've also taken the ship out there and helped out old Cole in Empire City, cleaning up the streets. Why did I grab this? Well, the one I have is practically disc only. This is a very nice black label copy with the manual. So, it's another nice shot of him. Is it the same? That's awesome. He's like scaling a building there. You know, the whole city's in flames. I mean, God, what a great game. What a great game. Okay. Rage? Anarchy Edition. Well, it's the Anarchy Edition, honey. That's why I paid the extra 10. I don't know what that is. I bet it says it right here. Double barrel shotgun. You get a buggy. This is basically a shooter. It's made by the people made Doom. Made by Carmack, I believe. John Carmack. That's co-op. That's kind of cool. You know, it's running and gunning, shooting in kind of a Mad Max world. I'm in. Here it's great. Here it's short but great. Far Cry 3. Lots of shooters here. Lots of shooters, and that's fine. Guns are great. Guns are fun. As long as I can turn it off afterward. No safeties. I bet if I had a gun, I'd be terrible with it. I bet I'd forget the safety thing all the time. You know? No guns for me. Okay. So, Far Cry 3. This is just an open world game, first person. You can drive, you can decide on what kind of weapons you use, and these games are always very good about playing up the fact that you are in a jungle. So maybe we should have some jungle animals to deal with, you know? A lot of fun. Good games. How we doing here? I think we got about 20 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes for Street Fighter, 10 minutes for Mail. I better go. Jeez. Dante's Inferno, yes. The Dante's Inferno had a video game. Who would have thought, huh? I hear it's not bad. I'm sure Dante would have been surprised. I never played it. Here it's kind of a God of War clone, but a good God of War clone. Picked it up. Manual, complete, great shape. All these are in really nice shape. Oh, cool. Finally a Wii game, and one I wanted. This might have been the only Wii game I grabbed. But Sonic All-Star Racing. These are really good. I don't play Mario Kart much these days, and the reason I don't play Mario Kart is I feel like they are not doing what they need to do with that series. They have a very solid game, very fun, very raceable, but it's all Mario. You know what I want? I want Nintendo Kart. You know, do what you did with Smash, man. You got all these cool arenas in Smash. That's half the game. Do it for Mario Kart. Give me a Zelda level. I think that's the only exception, is they just finally made a Zelda level. But give me a Star Fox level. You know, pull from some obscure Nintendo properties and make a kart racer that way. I know it's going to come one day. I wish it was today. So anyway, but this one, on the other hand, Sega's doing exactly what I'm proposing. It's pulling from all their properties to make levels. And that's exciting. And also, you know, putting racers in from all kinds of games. It's not a bunch of Mario guys. It's not a bunch of Sonic characters in here. I know it says Sonic All-Star Racing, but there's some obscure ones in here, too, including Ryu for Shenmue. The fact that you can play as Ryu, I know nobody knows who that is. I'm sorry, but that's exactly who I'd play. Oh, here's another Wii game. Is it Monster Jam Path of Destruction? It's another monster truck game. I have not played it, but it's a monster truck game. Sounds great. I mean, there's a big monster truck that's painted like an American flag. Come on. How can you not get behind that? One more Wii game here that's generic. Nights into Dreams. Nights is an excellent Sega Saturn game that had one sequel, this, and I hear this one isn't that good, but I don't have the old Knights game for the Sega Saturn, and it's such a marvelous game. That I saw this, and you know, even not having the case or anything, there's Knights on the cover. He's flying around there. I had to go for it, so there you go. Nice. Right, some more PS3. Burnout Paradise. It's racing, it's wrecking, and it's open world. Oh my god, I can't believe we found this one. 50 Cent. Blood in the Sand. You're a famous rapper, and I believe your crystal skull gets stolen and flown to Afghanistan. So you and your posse gun up and get out there to get it back. My god, do I want to play this. I probably want to play this game more than anything we picked up in this lot. I'm really excited about it. And if it's good, we may have to head out to Afghanistan with the old tub ourselves. Alright. Oh, another Wii game. Wreck-It Ralph. I bet this sucks. But I sure did like the movie. So I'll give it a shot. We'll see. Who made it? Activision. It's probably terrible. Mercenaries 2 for the Xbox 360. Another open world thing. The great thing about this one is all the buildings are destructible. You don't want to do a mission? Sure, just grab some C4 and start blowing apart the, you know, office buildings. A lot of fun. Call of Duty Ghosts. Not that excited about it. Some people, I meant to tell Biz about this. I think there was a Modern Warcraft 2 there also that I didn't buy. I think that's supposed to be a good game, but I didn't. Just looks so forgettable. This one too. I don't know. I don't even know why I got it. I'll never play that. And then finally, the God of War collection. God of War 1 and 2 remastered for the PlayStation 3. Excellent games. We already have this, but probably give it out to somebody because they're great games. Okay, so what's the damage here? 2, 4. Oh my god. Hold on. Am I right in your way? Right up in your business, huh? Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 31, 32, 34, 36, 38. It's getting up there. 40. 42. Why did I have a problem with that? 44, 46, 48, 50, 52. There's a couple on the ground here. 54, 56. You subtract 1 for the one PlayStation 2 game here. We're at 55. Add a few dollars tax. You're probably looking at around 59 effing dollars. Yeah, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money because especially we have a lot of these. But I'm going to sell off Ultimate NBC. That's probably going to cut the price in half. So you're looking about $1 a game. $1 a game. That's pretty hot. Yeah, some of these are doubles, but they're good doubles, and I'll just give them off. And everyone will join in the fun. So there you go. That's some feel-good buying right there. Looking at a wall and just being like, what's coming home with me? You gotta love it. Alright, let's get back to, we got about 15 minutes here. Let's get back to Street Fighter the movie, which again, I gotta give him credit, does not play bad at all. I mean, it's no Street Fighter 5, but then again, it has not had the budget nor the development time that Street Fighter 5 had. So, let's give it up to Van Damme. Let's go back. I don't know how he's going to beat up Cammy, but we're going to have to do it. Street Fighter the movie. Alright. Let's go. So we had... Oh, Jesus, table. I had to... God, I sure hope you guys could hear me well enough for that first match. I'm sorry about that. Oh! Whoa! Hooligan! Not calling her hooligan, that's what that's called. That's getting serious. I might have to... gotta hand it to him. That's exactly what Guile does. He sweeps around like that. Oh. I wonder if this was how long it took to get all the captures on it. It can't be that long. This probably didn't take him that much to do. Oh yeah, Cammy. What do you got? Oh. Oh, got her. Whew.
You win.
Alright. Not bad. Is anybody bored with Guile?
Round
Look, I
two.
understand. You know, I didn't. You know, he's not my first choice either. But this is. It's Street Fighter the movie. You don't understand. I mean, it's about Guile amassing all these forces to kill, you know, Raul Julia, aka M. Bison. And if you haven't seen it, am I gonna recommend it? I mean, I don't know. No. I mean, not really. I guess for a laugh. There's better things to watch, put it that way. Man, was it a disappointment when it came out, let me tell you. We were ready. We were ready for blood, and what did we get? We got, you know, Raul Julia. I love Raul Julia, don't get me wrong. I'll tell you what was a surprise, though, was a few years back, I received as a gift, gotcha. I received as a gift, what was it?
You win.
Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter the movie 2. That's it. Street Fighter the movie 2. The Legend of Alright, who's next?
Next
Ken.
fight.
There was no real way to
Round
plan it.
one. Fight.
You know, as you can see, they're just randomly throwing guys at me. Ooh, what is this? That's. You see what's above me? Look at this giant missile with a for sale sign. Does that come with a warranty? Can I price match here? This has got to be, because I know Sagat is like a weapons dealer. Look, he's even got the suplex. We had a little Dragon Punch action there. I'm impressed. I mean, it plays very well. I don't mean to belabor the fact. I'm just shocked. And you know, now that I'm playing it, it's like, oh, jeez. I don't feel terribly bad about not, you know, about not doing my homework. Is that a double KO? Oh, get out of here!
You lose.
Robbed.
Round
Dude.
two.
Not cool.
Fight.
I don't feel terribly bad about not doing my homework this week, because really, what? I mean, I've been doing my homework for 25 years with Street Fighter. Hey, look at it that way. This just happens to be a version I haven't played. Am I gonna play it again? I really wouldn't. If any, oh, I got you, baby. Come on. That's what you're gonna do? You're gonna, yeah. Please. Where'd that Dragon Punch go? It worked out so well for you earlier. There it is. Oh, how did I let it get? Get out of there. Get out of there. Street Fighter 5 I've been playing, and there's only about 16 guys right now, and I've had to revert to playing with Ken. You know, I had to go to the basics.
Fight.
A lot of people who are new to the game understand that. They play Ryu. Couldn't imagine playing someone who's you know, a little off color, like, I don't know, like Chun-Li, maybe, you know, or something like that. But yeah, in my, you know, it's a new game, so I want to try and at least be able to keep up with everybody. So in order to do that, I've really had to take to Ken. I'd say he's my best guy right now. Oh. Oh my god. And it makes you wonder, you know, the guys who beat me when I was a kid, I wonder how I do against them today. I'm pretty sure I'd win, because what would happen is they'd be like, you know, I'd issue the challenge, show up the day we're supposed to play, and then I'll get a text saying, I can't make it. My kid. All right, what do we got? Oh,
Fight.
well, I guess it's a bad guy. Sadly, Bison has escaped.
One. Fight.
But we'll get one of his minions. Although he's not even, Vega is not even really Bison's minion in the movie. From what that was another thing. Okay, you're talking about homework. I should have watched the movie. I should have watched this movie. I should have watched Street Fighter the movie, and I should have watched the sequel. But I just, it's 5, baby. Street Fighter 5. What can I tell you? It's taken over around here. It's like a virus. But I do remember that Vega is like Sagat's minion in this. Why Sagat and not Bison? Well, Sagat is a weapons dealer in Street Fighter the movie. You know, and that's how he's aligned with. He supplies Bison with guns. That's how that goes. Flash kick's a lot slower than I think it should be. Oh my god, it's come down to time. Oh, that was beautiful! Oh no. What are you gonna do? 1. Woo! I'll take it.
Time over.
I'll take it.
You win.
Come on, give me a break. What do you want me to do? Gotta go for it. Alright, here we go. Last one for the marbles. You know, take a look at the people in the background there. I mean, talk about Pit Fighter. Anybody remember Pit Fighter? Jesus, that's got to be one of the worst fighting games they've made. And they had this kind of the digitized audience here. He's not screwing around. He's got some range. He's got that claw. What's up, Vega? Why doesn't he have his mask on? That just... What? Alright, well that's kind of breaking the Goofy movie. You know, what's funny is there was some intro stuff. Yeah, that's a real glitch right there. That's a real what's it called? Continuity error. You know, Vega's supposed to be playing with his mask because he doesn't want to ruin his beautiful face in combat. He's beating me right now. Ugh. Oh. And even in the movie, there's a part where he's fighting, another time over, where he's fighting Ken. And he's wearing his mask. And here, maybe this was a licensing thing. Maybe this was like, the actor needed his face shown in the video game. You know, maybe that was a contract thing. It's probably lawyers. Lawyers got involved, and look what happened. Vega's fighting without a mask. Ugh. Shakespeare was right. Ooh. Come on. Come on. I took that hit because I knew I'd hit him too. And that, you know, really, that's what Street Fighter is all about, is managing your health against the other guy. If you're, you know, you want to try and get a little bit ahead of the guy, and then from there, oh, that was beautiful. Then just trade off hits. If you can manage that, he's gonna lose every time. Oof. Gotcha. Oh, come on, that would have been a beautiful finish. Instead it's that. All right, thank you. We're done. Thanks, Guile. Thanks, Van Dam. That was fun. We out. Okay, so that was Street Fighter the movie. If that was your first taste of Street Fighter, my first instinct is to say I'm sorry, but really I have to hand it to the developers in nailing how to do special moves, nailing how to do the basic moves, nailing how to block. The game is not lagging. I will say that it loads like mad. We're even playing this on a PlayStation 3, so you'd think that would help it along, but the load times are ridiculous. Which, again, is common with PlayStation 1 fighting games, and a big reason why the Sega Saturn kind of excelled was for whatever reason, Sega Saturn could just load up fighting games a lot faster, whereas the PS1 always struggled. But it was a fun game, fun adventure. I guess if you want to laugh, see the first movie, but don't be afraid to see the sequel. The sequel's actually pretty good. It's not really that Street Fighter, but it's still pretty good. Okay, we got enough time for a letter here. In the old bag. Let's take a look here. This one comes from Cincinnati. This is Captain Tyson. Our old pal Captain Tyson. He has to say, Captain Raz, back in the olden days, the main competitor of Nintendo was Sega. What, in your opinion, led to the downfall of Sega, and what missteps could they have avoided to stay a player in the console wars? Well, a lot of people would attribute to the fact that they started making a whole bunch of different add-ons to the Sega Genesis. The 32X plugs, the 32X plugs into the Sega Genesis. The Sega CD plugs into the Sega Genesis. Then as soon as they put out the Sega 32X, not even a year later, they put out the Sega Saturn. So it's like, where do I spend my money, Sega? I can't give it all to you. So the Saturn didn't do very well. Their last stand was the Sega Dreamcast, which is probably my favorite of the systems. Why? Because they have great fighting games, especially the SNK games. Fatal Fury Mark of the Wolves is like amazing. Great RPGs, great shooters, really nice system. Even the controller, well, the controller's not that great, but it works. The memory cards were really cool because they were actually, you pull out the memory card and they had a little screen on them with a D-pad and a couple buttons, so it was actually like a little Game Boy. Maybe one day I'll bring one of those into you. But those were cool. Dreamcast was the first system to go online. Had Phantasy Star Online, which was like an incredible game. So Sega had a lot going for it with the Dreamcast. I feel it could have pulled itself out of the water if it did one thing. One problem. In my opinion, it could have recovered from all the 32X and Saturn mistakes if they did one thing with the Dreamcast. And that was give it the ability to play DVD. Dreamcast can't do that. Dreamcasts are awesome systems with a great library of games that keep up with the PS2, no problem. But what it can't do is play DVDs. And if you're looking in 1999 era, everybody and their mom wanted a DVD player, and everybody and their mom wanted a 128-bit system. And the PlayStation 2 provided both. And the Xbox, while not out of the box, it eventually could also do DVDs. Whereas the Dreamcast, you were stuck. There was no way to play DVDs. So, it just came down to a matter of functionality. Sega tried to make a gaming system only, and while Nintendo can get away with that, Sega just was not in that position. They just didn't have the buyer base at that point. Too many people have been pissed off about the add-ons for the Sega Genesis and the Saturn. Not enough people are going to buy a Dreamcast to just buy it for the system alone. We needed to be able to watch Super Troopers on DVD on our Dreamcast if we were going to make that purchase. So that's what happened there. My favorite system is the Dreamcast. Played a lot. I think it took a lot of chances. It's still a really good system. Sadly, we really can't plug one into the Navigator yet. Maybe one day. And as for my favorite game, I'd probably, Sega game ever, I'd probably have to give that to Shenmue 2, which never made it here to the US on the Dreamcast, but I have the PAL version, so a UK version that I can play via a translation disc, region unlock kind of disc thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What matters is what Shenmue 2 is, and it's basically a biosphere that takes place around 1988, Hong Kong, China. You're a guy that's just looking around the city, trying to uncover the mysteries that led up to the murder of your father. And all throughout is China. And they painstakingly take time to show, to have all these people sitting around, you know, selling wares or just playing cards with one another, walking around, doing Tai Chi. It's the music's great, very visceral experience, and there's all kinds of fun things to do like gambling and whatnot. Again, I love mini games in a game. Here was one that gave it to you in spades, and it even, we're talking 1988 here, so it even had an arcade that had stuff like Space Harrier and Outrun, and if you dig deep enough into Shenmue 2, you'll even find Afterburner 2 in there. So, is that cheating to pick Shenmue 2 since there's so many other Sega games in there? I'm going to say no. It's not like I picked a compilation. It's a great experience, and if you can play it, it's on the Xbox. Shenmue 3 is going to be out eventually. It's been kickstarted after like 10 years. But Shenmue 2, hands down, my favorite Sega Dreamcast game, or Sega game in general. And that's not easy. There's a lot of them. Totally suggest Sega games. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed your look into Shadaloo, Thailand. It was a lot of fun. I probably should have had my inoculations up to date before we went out there, but it's an adventure, right? What can I say? All right, well, thanks a lot for joining me. We'll see you next time. I mean, who knows where this old tub's going to be next, but you and I are going to do it together. And until then, farewell and adieu to ye Spanish maidens. Farewell and adieu, ye ladies of Spain, for we received orders for to sail back to Thailand. Hey, and we may never see ye fair ladies again.